I believe in giving credit where credit is due. So before we get into the episode, we are going to name our sponsors. So the sponsors of season 4 are Levo Oil. They were gracious enough to give us a home infuser to be able to make some amazing recipes this season. If you are someone who has been wanting to make infusions at home a little bit easier, definitely check out shop.levooil.com and see if there's something you just have to have in your kitchen. In addition to Temperance Home and Bar. I love Melissa. Melissa has been a true sponsor of our show, working on almost every season with us, and I just love her Botanica. Melissa goes above and beyond to ensure that all of her clients leave super duper happy and are in a better spiritual place than when they came. Please check out the show notes so you can follow her on social media and check out her Etsy page. Let's get into the episode. Hello, everyone. You're listening to another episode of Tu Tia Bruja. I'm Bex Carlos, your host. Thank you for joining this episode. It's to mostly express gratitude. I'm so thankful to the Patreon subscribers that are helping create the content that I want to create. So thank you so much, Ashley and Melissa. Y'all are amazing. And I want to say that since I have been so fortunate to partner with Levo Oil, I've really been making so many things and getting in touch with my inner kitchen witch. And since last night was the full moon, I would have wished that, it seems like Tuesday is going to be the day that for this season we release. So, but you can still feel the moon's energy for like 2 days, sometimes 3 days after. And this is a Scorpio full moon. So we're going to be feeling this heavy for a few days. Remember, we might go to some deep, dark places, but in the end, going into the deep, dark parts of ourself and trying to work on that shadow work is going to make you so much stronger. So if intention, magic is something that you work with and you enjoy cocktails and cannabis, but check out my Patreon because there is a cocktail that I made called the Wicked Witch. And I think you've learned a little bit about my history with making cocktails and, tequila. I feel like I have it in my blood. You know what I mean? I love making cocktails. So I want to share this particular recipe with you. And just keep in mind, again, if you like what I'm doing, you can always subscribe on my Patreon. I always love my supporters. And you get a merch bundle when you first subscribe. Who doesn't like cool witchy stuff? So the Wicked Witch was inspired when I was in Mexico last year, around the time that I kind of started thinking up the idea for this podcast. I was, connecting to the ancestors, this, that, and whatever, connecting with, the future generations. But I digress. I was experiencing life there and I went through a tianguis. And if you're not familiar with a tianguis is an open market. It comes from, I believe, the Aztecs. And to this day, it still means like an open market. I don't believe everyone uses that phrase, and it might be common in more specific areas, but I love going to the tianguis in the town of Tequila, where my family is from. And I went, and there was this guy selling, ceramic pipes. And he made one that looked like the evil witch in Snow White, when the queen transformed into the witch to feed her the apple. And I was like, oh shit, this is going to inspire something. I feel it. And so, I was so fortunate. So I did a whole photo shoot inspired sort of by that theme. And I was so blessed to have a premiere party where I made all of these different dishes that, served as the photos. And I was so blessed to be amongst friends who support me and love me and family that supports me and loves me. And, I hope that everyone has that in their life or is striving to find your soul family, to have those people who love and support you, because we all deserve it. That's how we vibrate higher and at a better frequency. So the cocktail that I made that was the Wicked Witch, this is how I made it. So I made a tincture of Goldschlager and my preferred medical herb, and I put it into a container and I soaked it for 2 days. I didn't use a whole lot because honestly, you really don't need a whole lot. 12 ounces, and then you can make probably like 6 different drinks of that, if you're going to do it in an intentional purpose with other people. But I wouldn't have a whole lot of this, because again, these are made with intention. You're supposed to have it and really use it to focus in on yourself. So I made this tincture, and then after that, I even went out and bought more gold accents because aesthetic, you know what I mean? And then with that, you will take a shaker and you'll put 2 tablespoons in. And I suggest that there's a calculator in the show notes. Please keep in mind how much of, the amount of things that you're making it in, because it's important to know your dosage. You can have a very bad experience, and nobody gets to veteran status their first time. So please remember, microdosing until you feel comfortable is very, very important. So in a shaker with ice, you will mix white cranberry juice. If you can't find white cranberry juice, a white peach cranberry would work, kind of something that has kind of like a lighter color to it. You're going to mix a little bit of green apple schnapps. You're going to put 2 tablespoons of the infused Goldschlager. Use your own judgment on your taste buds. So you would just mix those items together, and then you would shake, 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 shake. And then you would sip on that and just think about all of the abundance, success, joy that you're trying to bring in. But just keep in mind, in order for all that good to come to you, you have to release some of the things that are weighing down your soul, that shadow work. So know that in order for that abundance to come in, you might also have to process some icky feelings. And I know that it's hard, but we are all strong, and our ancestors went through so much. And I think sometimes feeling that spirit will push us to heal ourselves and to be the ones who stop all the generational curses. It can all stop with us, y'all. And so, yeah, this cocktail is really good if you just need to focus inward a little bit. Thank you so much for listening to the podcast. I really appreciate and value you. And I want you to know that I truly never thought that I would be here. You know what I mean? We've charted in 11 different countries. Every day I am more and more impressed by the listens, the support, the kind words about how something resonated. You know what I mean? I really, truly love to tell stories and to share experiences and to have conversations. And I hope that it makes you feel a little bit more seen. Thank you for listening. I appreciate the work that we are all contributing to the universe to make it a better place. I appreciate your time and you holding space for me. Check out the show notes on how to support me if that's something you'd like to do. And you can follow me on social media at BexBCasting. That's my personal. And then the podcast is at Tu Tia Bruja. Thanks for listening. Bye.
Tu Tia Bruja.